Hey, be a squid and subscribe to my mediocrity. How's it going, my squids? Today we're doing something a little bit different. I figured, I don't know why I'm doing this still. I have my beard back. I don't know why I'm still doing this. I'll leave it on for just the cool effects. But I thought I would talk about Berywam in their defeat at America's Got Talent, and they got, voted out, which is a pretty upsetting thing. So I wanted to talk about this from the perspective of an actual beatboxer, that is me. I've been doing this for like 5 years, just not on YouTube, because beatboxing on YouTube, unless you're Swiss Beatbox and some of the other channels that are based their channels solely around that sort of situation, it's pretty much a dying art on YouTube, and it's really sad, at least outside of the channels that are doing really well with it. But a fun fact for you guys, my channel was actually founded on beatboxing. My very first YouTube video was when I got a really shitty laptop and webcam. I didn't even have a mic, I don't think, or maybe I did, I don't know. And basically, I did a throat bass tutorial, which is this it's like this and then you like that sort of situation, and you just put it into various beats like that sort of thing. You fucking get it. But I've never really talked about beatboxing outside of that. I did I think 2 or 3 videos, and I've beatboxed in some of my more recent videos on Outward, like at loading screens or whatever, and I called it like loading screen beatboxes. But anyway, I wanted to talk about Berywam from the perspective of a consumer that knows nothing about beatboxing, and then from a person that understands the technicality and skill that goes into beatboxing, because I think the reason they got eliminated was because America, just as a country, is not exactly renowned or even very well aware of the technicality of beatboxers. Definitely, if you watch like Swiss Beatbox or any of these other channels out there, you would know that majority of beatboxers are actually outside of America. They generally are like from the UK, fucking French, or whatever the fuck. You get the point. Like almost every single beatboxer that is legendary and famous is not American, and that's just like what it is. It's not a bad thing or anything, but I think Berywam had the best and the most interesting perspective, and the way they integrated these hit songs into their group dynamic worked extremely well. And then, not to mention, they came out with their own special song that they did in their first audition, which I think they probably should have saved for later, because it was a killer beat. It was like this kind of reggaeton like dance hall beat, very sick. It was something that I expected, like MB14, which he was a person that was also a part of Berywam. I'm not sure what happened and why he's not there anymore, but they replaced him with Beastie, which is the guy that was doing the main vocals toward the end of the beat, which he was really good. I'm not gonna diss him. I'm not gonna say MB14 makes the group. He's really good on his own and everything, but definitely having him there would have been interesting, as well with Beastie, because Beastie's also really good. He added an extremely different dynamic to Berywam. So let's talk about their first audition. They pretty much kind of did their own take with Martin Garrix, and then they kind of mixed up, the little clicks, the little like that sort of thing. They mixed that up with another beat that I was unfamiliar with, but the fact that they were able to integrate it together, and it made it sound amazing, which most people, whenever you're doing beatboxing, especially in front of a crowd that is not known to understand beatboxing, you want to definitely make sure you get the point across as to what the hell's going on. So aka pick songs that everybody fucking knows, hence Animals by Martin Garrix, fucking Turn Down for What, like that sort of situation. That's why they chose those songs, because America's gonna understand, because we're nothing but brainless idiots. And this is where the problem comes in with trying to impress America with beatboxing. See, if you watch Swiss Beatbox and you watch like the Grand Beatbox battles, the problem there is that everybody that's watching and is in the crowd either dabbles in beatboxing, partakes in beatboxing, or at least understands the very dynamic and technicality of beatboxing. And then when you're in front of a crowd that knows nothing about it except for the fact that, oh hey, that sounds cool, it's really tough to impress them. So what you have to do is go with what you know. And if they were to walk up there and do something that is, let's say, something for like Grand Beatbox Battle, if they walked up there and did some crazy shit like, oh geez, well what the fuck would they do? Man, I don't know. Whenever I watch Grand Beatbox Battle, this shit just sounds like fucking jumbled up gibberish, where they're just like just sounds like a fucking crazy nonsense up there. And it's like, if you walk up on America's Got Talent stage, Simon's gonna sit there and be like, no, that don't sound good. No, don't ask me why fucking Simon sounds like fucking Al Pacino in Scarface, but yeah, he's not gonna be impressed. He's gonna just say like, you sound like a fucking dying car. So yeah, so they had to get up on that stage and make it sound like a song without any instruments or DJ track, whatever. They had to embody the instruments, and they had to make it sound legit and believable, to forget the fact that it is coming from their mouth. And this is where going on America's Got Talent is a huge problem, because most people are more interested in vocals in terms of singing rather than the technicality of understanding how to produce a K-snare or a fucking kick drum. Nobody gives a fuck. Everybody just wants it to sound good, and that's what it is. Nobody wants to go in depth and understand what is going on. Whenever you listen to a song, especially as just a casual listener or a person that just likes music but knows nothing about the creation of it, you just listen to it and you're like, wow, that sounds really amazing, and that's as far as you go. You don't ask the questions like, wow, how is that drum made, or how did they get that particular kick in there, or how did they get that snare to sound like that, or how did this, nobody gives a shit. That's why their first performance came off so amazing, and why it has like 18 million plus views. It's very, very easy to understand, and everybody in their mom in America can understand Turn Down for What and Animals. And then that last beat was like just basically that genre, that like reggaeton dance hall, that shit is fire, dude. That was like Ragabomb by Skrillex, but like trap remix. It was nuts. And that type of shit, just America loves. Just America loves that nonsense. They don't care how it's made. Realistically, if you had gone up there with a loop station, or you had just produced the beat yourself and just sang over it like that, they would be equally as impressed. Like that's the part that annoys me the most, is that they don't care that it was beatboxing. They just kind of know that it sounded good and they just enjoyed it. Now I want to talk about the round where they pretty much got eliminated, which they did Fortuna, and that was, oh god, that was beautiful, as well as America don't care. That's what it was. That's why they lost. Nobody cared, and that's the genuinely sad part about it, because nobody is looking past what they were doing and the choice of song, and how amazing in detail that they were able to recreate a song like that. Nobody looks past the song and try to understand the technicality, because if they did, they would not have gotten eliminated. Trust me, I saw the other talent there. Not gonna say that they don't deserve to go to the semifinals either, but I would definitely argue that so did Berywam. So I don't know, it is what it is. I don't really care too much. It's just, for people that don't understand why they got eliminated, this is why. It's America. Like, that's the sad part. As an American, I'm saying and telling you that America just don't get beatboxing. It just don't get it. It's such a niche marketplace, and you don't see it too much here. You really don't. There's the very few people that will dedicate themselves to beatboxing, like myself. I partake and I do it every day. I shit you not, I beatbox every fucking day. I just don't do it on video. But just when I'm sitting in my room waiting on a render, I'm hitting some drum and bass. I'm in the shower, I'm doing some sick reverb in there. Like, it's just, once you partake in beatbox, it just takes over, and it just becomes it integrates into your life and becomes a part of it. And that's the thing that I think America just doesn't understand, that once like this is just as important as singing. It really is, because you can even incorporate singing into it. Here's a little snippet of MB14 using a loop station and singing one of the most amazing songs, with just all the beats produced by his own vocals and everything, and just check it out.
Shapes and colors, there's notes and rhythms. I got to better myself through my achievements. I gotta go the distance. My vocals got to make a significant difference. Alone in the dark, I'm writing down. Eventually the words are coming now. Alone in the dark, I'm writing down. Eventually the words are coming now.
Now Now see, one of the issues with this situation is that some people might be thinking, oh, well why didn't they just go up there and use these loop stations? Well, they only have a limited amount of time in order to actually create these beats and to start singing. They only generally have about a minute, something like a minute 30, minute 20, or even less than that. I'm not even sure what the time, but I know it's about a minute something. So just to create that beat, it takes about a minute, which is pretty much the whole process. So they would need roughly about 2 to 3 minutes just to get the point across and prove that they were worthy of being on that stage, and that was not going to happen with a loop station, which is why the 4-man group as a dynamic, they can create the beat like that as long as they are in sync and they understand the timing of everything. And like I said earlier in the video, if they were to just walk up there and just spit some crazy shit and just sound like insane, only beatboxers are going to understand what's happening, and everybody else is just going to think he's making like baby sounds with his mouth. Like nobody's going to understand like the inhale breathe out technique. Like I forget what is that called. I do it all the time, but I don't know what the hell it's called. Either way, you get the point. I kind of just wanted to make this video just explaining the process of like beatboxing and why they didn't make it any further than what they did. They're a great group, they're fantastic, and they have a career on YouTube. Like that's the truth. They have a career on YouTube. So as long as they keep putting shit on YouTube, they'll get millions of views. You've got creators like Korean Effects and shit that fucking hold it down for with the loop stations and shit. So definitely they have a career on YouTube, and they're going to if they want to pursue like their dream in music and whatever, they're gonna get millions of views every time. If they keep up with the hot songs that come out and they pay attention and then they sing a lot in vocals, they'll be fine. Here's the thing about Berywam, even though they lost, and it's kind of upsetting because they're not breaking out into the mainstream, they're not dead and they're not done. They have a plethora of opportunities on YouTube, as well as touring themselves and just being able to create music on their own. They have all of that and then some. Some people kind of just assume that, oh my god, they lost on America's Got Talent, it's fucking over for them. That is not the case by any means. But yeah, I just think at the moment America's not ready for the mainstream beatbox community. I just don't think that they have a deep understanding, or we have a deep understanding as to how things are created that way. And it's like I said, it sucks that they lost, but in time, maybe we can break out of this like really shitty stigma. But hopefully we got something going on. But anyway, nonetheless, great performances by all of them. They were fantastic. If you want to go watch them, check them out at all. I'll put links in the description if you want to partake in beatboxing or at least learn more about it. I'll put a link to Swiss Beatbox or maybe some tutorials. I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.